if you don't do this, we're going to die. It's like Ender's Game now. Hire all the high schoolers.
All right. So I think, yeah. Right,
Okay.
We've got all nice. And
So
there we go.
hey, look, we're now doing good. See, all we had to
look
do.
at this guy, Shanta Flash.
Whoa, those stats.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Jeez. What if Shanta Flash is a robot?
Look at Mildred's Lafon. It's also a.
It's almost like we're hiring the best and brightest.
They wouldn't do that at NASA.
As is the custom.
All right. So now we can. No, because we have to wait a turn for them to train. We are behind now because like 63 and we haven't even launched.
But the number is like our income, right? The green number.
Yes. Okay. All right. Unmanned test schedule mission.
This is the one we just.
Yeah.
How's our That's so convenient. Auto assign.
Yeah.
How does our
It's almost like we don't have to play the game.
How does our reliability compare to that one that I guess technically never happened because we had to load the game?
It's even higher because we waited more turns.
Good.
And this is almost ready to launch too.
Now, if I don't know anything about probability, which I don't, that means for sure it'll be a success because the last one was a success and this one is even better.
Yeah. What could possibly go wrong with a rocket launched into outer space? Our reliability is really high though. It's in the 90.
It's not as exciting when we just did that. I mean, like, this whole thing was like, hey, can we get to the moon and back? Yeah. You're broke.
Go find a new
We're
job.
shutting you down.
Go work for Chrysler.
Maybe, like, they knew that there was no way they were going to make the budget, so they're like, we'll just do this mission as one,
Hurrah.
go out with a bang.
Yeah. The rocket blows up. Well, we're going to have a bang. Whoops.
They just drive it straight into the moon.
It's not...
Leave our mark.
They don't, like, do an orbital flight to it. They just fly straight at it until it gets there.
Suborbital. It's so suborbital it goes into the surface.
It's an underground rocket.
Yeah. That sounds really cool.
Underground
Patent pending for a sci-fi novel. Underground rockets. Underground cities with rockets. Powered by rockets.
And rickets.
Yeah, and rickets. No, I always imagine the inside of the Earth to not be
Solid?
just solid, but instead to be like the roof is like the ground we stand on, and then underneath it's just this big cave with a lava floor.
That's, if Minecraft has taught me anything, that's how... All right.
I don't really think that.
Good.
Okay.
This is not Journey to the Center of the Earth. Richard Brent will not take us to the center.
I got really good grades in oceanography and geology, and I'm just saying the planet should be like that. Okay, let's just...
Wouldn't the crust collapse then?
Well, it's a sci-fi novel. Fiction. It doesn't
Oh,
have
we're not...
Yeah.
Okay, I thought we were...
These are ideas for a sci-fi novel where the planet's hollow.
Yeah.
Actually, didn't you see that thing in the news where a bunch of
I'm gonna...
geologists discovered a ton of water under the surface?
On Europa. Although everyone already knew that.
Yeah. No, I mean under Earth, I thought.
Oh.
Or maybe I didn't really read the article. I just read the headline.
It's probably from The Onion. It's not even real.
It could be. I'm gonna stop talking about things that I've only read the headline for and don't even remember the source, like what news article that published it. The point is underground rockets. Everybody uses underground rockets instead of cars. We have there's no throttle control. It's just
there's soul booster rockets.
You have to time as much fuel as it takes to burn out to get you to your so it runs out when you get to your destination.
Fun fact, the next update for Kerbal Space Program is coming out on Tuesday.
You're not supposed to talk about other games that are playing. Okay.
But no, because
they're gonna get mad. You're talking about other.
So there's the solid rocket boosters, which you just hit launch and they go. You can't control them. Oh. But they introduced now thrust limiting, so you can limit them to have really low thrust. So it takes longer to burn through all their fuel. So you could considerably do a mission to the moon and back just using like a solid booster rocket. It's like launch and go and then just burn so slowly but fast enough to get you into space and around and back. But anyways, we're going to go to the moon without.
But do that underground.
Underground. Start all over again.
Build schools and barracks and prisons.
We can start all over again. We'll build prisons.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're launching a moon orbiter.
The one that we messed up that one time. No, wait, we just did that. Sorry.
This is different.
Does one come back?
This is a satellite. No,
Oh,
but it orbits. It doesn't just get
a
launched
satellite.
out into space.
So it's just going to permanently go around the moon forever.
Well, eventually its orbit will collapse because the moon, as on all planets, but especially on the moon, the gravitational pull is different over different parts of it, so it throws off your orbit. And this rocket, the Thorable.
Thorable?
Thorable. It's a weird name. We can use this for a lot of other satellite missions. I think the Sun mission uses one of these. But we shouldn't do the Sun mission because that's a stupid mission. Well, because it ties up permanently like 6 of your flight controllers for like 20 turns. Because you have to assign them for
years.
I hate this project. I want to go get back in the mines.
We just want to take really close...
Get back in the NASA mines.
So what do you learn from a mission to the sun? I mean, I'm sure they do. I don't know what you would...
No, it's really
temperature?
hot out there. I don't know. Anyways, we
take really cool pictures, really close up.
So close, it's like we're on it.
Anyways, we did a good job.
Yeah, we got satellite around the moon.
And we're not going bankrupt while doing it.
Yeah. We're going to keep being the...
It's almost like when we go, oh, we should just go, collect that money. No, we'll launch ourselves into bankruptcy before we go collect it.
Anyways, let's do the manned Mercury mission.
So it's going to go around the moon?
Well, it's a suborbital flight. So it's going to go underground, like we've been talking about. No, just a suborbital flight up and back. The first American in space, not first man, first American. He was also a man though. Alan Shepard. He went on a suborbital flight, and his flight lasted about 15 minutes.
It's kind of, I mean, that's cool, but 15 minutes.
Yeah. Well, then
it's like, does that really count?
The thing about his story was that he then had like an inner ear problem, and he couldn't fly for like 5 years.
Oh.
So he thought his time in NASA astronaut was over. Then he got a surgery and got it fixed, and then he was on like Apollo 14 and landed on the moon.
That's sweet.
Yeah. Cool story.
Cool
story, bro.
The first American in space was Yuri Gagarin, right? No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the first rocket.
If Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego has taught me anything.
Exactly. Which
it's
I always
that
kind of wonder,
give those rascals a spool of thread, but...
One of the things on that mission is like, well, why don't I, like, mess up Yuri's missions? That way America gets to have the first man in space. Because we launched like 2 weeks after Yuri did.
Yeah. People are pretty mad about that.
Yeah.
So it isn't like, you said, I think in a different episode, it's probably would have been the case. If we had if the United States had beat the Russians to get the first person into space, then that might have been like... Essentially, America goalposted like hell.
Yeah.
The space race. Like, no, it's not the first person anymore. Now we got to get to the moon.
That's basically what happened.
Yeah.
And then Nixon, after the moon landing, is like, well, let's cancel all of our like deep space stuff because we don't want to continue the space race for another 20 years to go to Mars.
If somebody had told him, we could have just put a laser on the moon. If Star Wars had come out a little bit earlier, then people would, oh, this is great. Build lasers.
Build a Death Star on the moon.
Exactly.
To destroy Earth. Anyways, we got our guy in space.
We're not paying it. This is the first time we're sending a person this far.
Houston, this is Apollo 1. Are you listening to me at this point?
Arguing.
No, Star Wars should have came out earlier. Houston, I need the readings on those updates.
Brandon's trying to convince me that Captain Picard is better than Captain Kirk. He's out of his mind, though. I'm
beginning retrofire. Is there anything I should be aware of?
Yeah, can we get some more donuts in here?
I can't do that for you. Do we jet the rest and do we keep that on? I don't remember.
We got you up there, now you do the rest.
This was not in my resume. I mean, job description.
Alright, it's pretty much good enough that even if it fails here, I would say we did a good job.
Well, if it fails, it will count as a mission failure. We'll be able to move on.
Well, that looks like a successful thing.
Oh my gosh. They haven't implemented the...
We just sent a person pretty far up.
Well, the thing is, they haven't implemented the failure renders yet. So it'll still show the success one even if...
Oh.
So you really have to wait for it to say success at the top.
That's mean.
It is. Anyways,
we got to the families. Like, here's pictures of the mission. Oh, looks pretty good. Yeah, there were no survivors.
Those were photoshopped, sorry. Anyways, we can, in our programs, we can cancel Pioneer 2 because we don't need to orbiter anymore. And then...
A lunar lander.
Do we need... Let me check on this guy. So I don't think we actually have to do a satellite landing to do to land a person there. I don't think that is like in the chain of progression. So So we probably don't have to do that. We can just cancel and save money and focus everything on Mercury.
Cool.
Alright, and now let's do an unscrewed. I always read it as unscrewed for some reason. So we're going to unscrew the rocket as it comes up.
I do see that as well.
Anyways, we're going to R&D this one. The thing is it uses a different rocket.
Oh.
So we're going to build a new rocket.
A human-powered rocket? Oh, human-rated rocket.
A human rocket. So this bunch of people on like, exercise bikes and like the rocket's like, we gotta run faster.
Da Vinci like flaps its wings. The bicycle pedals. Sci-fi novel, patent pending. Underground.
Although I think now we have
the tunnel to the center of the moon.
Yeah, we actually probably should start a satellite one because we have 8 like people that we've hired. They're not doing anything.
Okay.
So we should probably
Can they do anything that's going to be relevant towards landing on the moon? Or is it kind of just keeping them kind of getting our money's worth, I guess? Oh, but if they do, why are we not doing that? Even if they're not doing relevant missions, they're going to do missions, then we can launch them and get more prestige and get more money.
Yeah. So let's do another moon mission. Let's do a lander mission. Whoa. No, actually. Is that...
Well, that's just for the opening,
true,
right?
Yeah. Then we still make $1,000 a thing.
819. That's not
Somebody
It's not 1,000.
So pedantic.
That's almost 20% off. Like you can't just. When people do that to me, they give me a number and
they do that to you specifically.
They do. They just to me, they round off numbers horribly. You know, as if it's okay, this is 136% better. Yeah, it's like about twice as good. No, it's not. It's nowhere near.
Yeah, they won't hire you at NASA if that's how you.
We'll say that. How much was dinner? Oh, it was about, it's like really like $18. Yeah. And they go, well, it was like $20. Like, no, it's not. It's $18.
Anyways.
Those are 2 different numbers. Sorry.
So this is our rocket that's going to take our humans into orbit. This is the one that's going to take our satellite on the moon. And this is the thing that's going to land on the moon. I'm just going to click through some turns here.
Okay.
And we're horribly behind because it's 1964, which was like the end of the Gemini program.
Well,
but that's the thing. Like, you haven't balanced the game to the point where you can follow the historical path yet. Once again, this is in early access. Like the version is like 0.78 or something. So there's still a lot left to be implemented in.
That second part of that rocket, that one, it looks neat. From the smaller thumbnail, it looks like some sort of sci-fi weapon, like the scepter that shoots out lasers.
The laser scepter?
Yeah. Some
sort of laser sword?
Yes. Wow, that little laser sword of his, and go to town.
Let's check. We might be able to launch Surveyor. Let's give it like 2 more turns.
I'm already behind. Look at all that money we got. Like, oh, I'm so worried about our budget.
So this is how, because like I think, so the thing is, on the next budget in 4 turns, we have to have at least 2,000 prestige to make that much more money, and we're always sitting at 5,000 prestige, and we're already over the high amount needed. So that's how you get so much money, is because you build up like a base prestige, and then as long as you don't fail a bunch of missions, you just stay above that, and you just keep making more and more money. Just like in real life, which is why NASA is like the most funded department in the U.S. government.
Less than 1 penny per person.
And actually, it's funny because it's like 1965 or 66 right now. And in real life, that was the high point of NASA's funding, like, of all time.
Adjusted for inflation.
Sure. Right, do you want to try this?
It'd be kind of sad if like they still were getting more money in the 60s, not adjusted for inflation. Ooh.
We've given up on space.
Yeah. Sweet.
This is 86 out of 91, and this is 79 out of 84. But we have to ask our expert.
Activate it.
Schedule mission. Start assembly. Assemble it. Auto-assign. Confirm assignments.
Look at all those smart people. Who was the person who was like the Michael Jordan of our space program? Just a bunch of stats and like everything.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably inaccurate. Michael Jordan wasn't really good at everything, but...
Anyways, straight to the moon. Direct descent.
Bang. Zoom.
Wham! Bam! Straight to the moon.
Underground.
In a loading ready run.
We should just build an
when
elevator.
they do their podcasts. They start by saying, "Welcome to the loading ready run orbiting underground moon base." And they have like a graphic that's like the outer moon and the inner moon and a gap, and their thing orbiting around the inner moon, surrounded by the outer moon.
They actually go to the moon?
They have massive funding. It's ridiculous. Domino's provides the Anyways,
that was not in our... That needs to be mentioned at some point in this. That was not ever mentioned in a video,
anyways,
was it?
gentle viewer, there was Domino did a promotional thing where they like hired a couple scientists to like design a moon base for Domino's, basically. Like what kind of rockets and bases you need to have a Domino's on the moon. And we were commenting about how if that actually happened,
that would be the best thing ever for space exploration, but also the worst thing for humanity.
Yeah, because for the rest of history, Domino's had the first moon base.
Yeah,
Anyways, we put our little domino on the moon base.
We started our moon base.
Yeah,
we put pizzas on it.
Yeah.
No, yeah, we agreed. If Domino's were the first people to get a base on the moon, everyone else would be so shamed that like, how do you not have a moon base before Domino's does? But at the same time,
it's still a moon base.
That's now like a historical fact that can never be changed.
Yeah.
So what do we say? In the future, when humanity is a spacefaring civilization, we meet aliens in other worlds and other galaxies, and they ask us about our history, and we have to go, well, the first base outside of our home planet was from a franchise,
really
a shitty pizzeria franchise. No one could get over that, like, forever.
Yeah, it'd be really embarrassing.
The year 6000, that will not have changed, so humanity just is so embarrassed it would start over. So please, Domino's, if you're watching this video,
get on. If you're the CEO,
do that. You would motivate so many people out of embarrassment.
Yeah, to try and live down our disreputable past. So we're going to do the uncrewed orbital test of the Mercury mission because it's good to go. And I think we can maybe do a Mars mission after this. I think that'd be cool.
Wait, that's open?
Yeah, because once you land a thing on the moon, you can do Mars probes.
I didn't know that.
And Venus probes, but I think Mars is cool.
You can't send people to Mars?
Not in this one, because this is just part 1, Road to the Moon. In part 3, you will be able to.
What if we could? I mean, we just can't bring them back, or have them survive. We can get a body to Mars.
That's what Buzz Aldrin wants. Actually, he wants the first missions, like the manned missions to Mars, to be one way.
They're kind of probably going to have to be.
Yeah.
Barring some sort of teleportation.
Well, like I think they could do like an orbital mission, like fairly well. Like landing and coming back, it gets a lot more difficult.
Whenever people talk about crewed missions to Mars, I always think of that movie Rocket Man.
Oh yeah, actually, I have that on my computer because
you ate all the food.
Because thing is, I watched that movie growing up. Anyways, this is succeeding. Blah blah blah.
Talking about, I don't even know who the actor is in that movie.
I looked him up once. But anyways, because I watched that movie growing up and I loved it, and it's like I should watch this again. So I got it online. And
if you watch it again when you're grown up, it's not.
It's funny.
It's kind of. It was really a product of its time.
Yeah. The 90s.
Yeah.
Because I remember a fair portion of it.
They do cryo freezing or something, don't they, in that movie?
Yeah, except he doesn't get cryo frozen.
That's
like,
right.
His
he
arm
lives for 8 months on the.
Yeah, and eats all the food.
Yeah.
Anyways, we put a thing around.
Paints the Sistine Chapel thing.
I remember that.
He does like a painting of himself. Like like the Sistine Chapel, like God touching Adam.
I've been there actually.
Well, aren't you just the most cultured, cool person that ever existed?
Vatican is very nice.
And here I am talking about fucking Rocket Man, and you're like, yeah, I went to the Vatican, and I'm explaining a very small detail in a terrible kids family entertainment 90s movie with slapstick humor.
Yeah, and I'm talking about the Sistine Chapel. Anyways,
never mind.
Mariner 6. Mars flyby. Let's get that going. See, I thought we were rebuild the Alcedrina. Oh no, we built the other one. Because that I said we could specifically use for never.
Yeah.
Anyways. Let's get some,
67? Really?
Well, the thing is, like, this guy's really good in space probes.
Oh.
So we're going to put him in space probes.
Well, I guess we're better at... Yeah, okay. Ooh, 47 and 61.
But it's going up by like 31%.
Okay.
So it's like, you don't need to min-max as much in that sort of stuff.
Get more money. Could open up all the programs at the same time. With 200-year-old, flight crew and astronauts.
Yeah. So I think we're ready to do the manned orbital mission. I believe it's safe.
Yeah, that's what he said. Orbit failed, Von Braun. Orbit failed.
Earth orbit failed. Not our satellite's orbit failed. Earth orbit's failed. So anyways, Kathy Cavalieri is going to be the first person in space.
I thought we've already done that.
Well, the X-15 is the edge of space.
Didn't we already? Okay.
And the other missions we did were just unmanned tests. Oh no, we did, because we did the suborbital one.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Well, actually, if you look at history, John Glenn, the first American to orbit Earth, was like a lot more famous than Alan Shepard, the first American in space.
Why is that? Did people just...
I think because Yuri Gagarin, he orbited, whereas Shepard just did suborbital.
Oh.
So
not only was he second, he didn't do as much.
Essentially.
Oh, okay.
So anyways, here's our John Glenn, Kathy Cavalieri.
Going to us cool Bernadine Ort.
Why couldn't you have been an astronaut, Ort?
Or president.
Send you on a mission to the Oort cloud. It's your home turf. I'm really glad we haven't had anyone die yet, because when I was playing this,